You're listening to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com with myself, Total Biscuit. Yes, indeed you are. It's good stuff, isn't it? I've enjoyed the show so far. Hopefully the rest of you have too. Now, I want to talk to you about guild perks. Oh, I hate that word. You want to know why I hate that word? Because it represents a huge cop-out. And I'm not going to go too much into this because I've done it already. And people say, oh, he repeats the content, People will stop listening to him after the beta thing. It's like, ignoring the fact that they listened to me 5 years before the beta. Tards. Haters are awesome because they give me loads of ad revenue. So please, continue. There's a great quote. I love this quote. I want to adapt it. It comes from Pirates of the Caribbean, and Captain Norrington says it, and he says, "You are without a doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of." And the response is, of course, "But you have heard of me." "You are without a doubt the worst podcaster I've ever heard of." "But you have heard of me." Yes, indeed. It's good. I like haters. They promote me probably better than my fans do, actually. Because they just can't stop talking about me. You know what? I think it's a bit of a closet gay thing. I have nothing against homosexuals. I just don't want to put anything against homosexuals. It comes down to the fact that I'm sure these guys must have some closet thing for me. They must. I mean, nobody could talk about me that much without being in some kind of ensconced and infatuated state. It's a little crazy, isn't it? But there you go. So, let's talk about... I don't want to say it! I don't want to say it, because it's such a disappointment. Why would you do this, Blizzard? I know why you do this. Because people cried, and they've cried again as well. We'll talk about the crying in just a moment. Where the hell did I put this? It's around here somewhere. There was a thing about perks. Aha! There we go. Guild perks list. Fantastic. So we're going to go through the guild perks list, and I will provide a link to you in the chat room. You can go through them with me. There you go. Okay. So let's have a look at what they've replaced guild talents with, and we'll assess whether or not it was worthwhile, and then we'll go on to the crying about it. Okay. This system right here is basically identical to what DDO currently has, except it doesn't have guild frickin' airships. So it's not quite as good. It also doesn't have anywhere near as many levels. Like, DDO has 100 levels, where these guys have 25, and yeah, it's not quite as impressive, is it? So, first things first. Fast track. Experience gained from killing monsters and completing quests is increased by 5%. That's rank 1. So in other words, if you are in a guild, you're going to have this by default. Number 2, mount up. Increases speed while mounted by 5%, which doesn't work in battlegrounds and arenas. Okay, that's pretty smart. Because, oh my god, the PvP balance. I'm not in a guild that is rank 2, therefore you have a slight speed advantage. Get in a guild then! Maybe it's because you're an antisocial bigot and nobody likes you. Speaking of liking, number 3, Mr. Popularity. Reputation gaining from killing monsters and completing quests increased by 5%. All human guild, I'm thinking? Diplomacy stack? Oh, wow. Cash flow. Each time you loot money from an enemy, an extra 5% money is generated, deposited directly into your guild bank. I love that. They couldn't bring themselves to put in a guild tax system because people would cry. So they put in, how about we just generate 5% extra gold for the economy and cause random inflation? Because people would be upset if the guild had taxes. How dare you? Bloody left-wing, liberal, big government types taking my gerbs and my white women and my monies and my liberties. Taking all of them. Oh dear. I'll tell you, never play EVE Online. You will cry or your head will explode. Or both. Wow. Yes, so cash flow, that's guild taxes only not. This is, what one might say, actually, is a stimulus package from the government. They're just printing money. Worldwide Blizzard government is giving you 5% extra money to stimulate the WoW economy. And by stimulate, I mean massively inflate prices on the auction house for no apparent reason whatsoever. Okay, number 5 is Fast Track Rank 2. So, yeah, it's 10% now instead of 5%. Reinforce. Items take 5% less durability loss when you die. Perfect for the guild that keeps wiping on everything. 7, Hasty Half. It reduces the cooldown of your Hearthstone by 15 minutes. That's sick, because right now it's 30 minutes. So, 15-minute half. Oh, wait, I'm a mage. I don't need it. But everyone else, I'm sure it's fantastic. Okay. Items take 10% less durability loss, rank 8, because that's Reinforce rank 2. And I like this. I like the name of it, and I like what it does. Sugarlug, rank 1. The duration of buffs from all guild cauldrons and feasts are increased by 50%. Actually, that's really useless. Mostly useless, anyway. So, the scenario where that would be helpful... that would be when you are running through a dungeon that you already have on pure farm status. And yet... it would be more useful to give something like that to a guild that is losing a lot of money because of wiping. Because obviously, feasts disappear upon your death, so this would only really be useful for people that could clear for an hour and a half without dying, which is fine if you've got an instance on farm status. It seems odd to have that at rank 9. I mean, you'd think that would be further down the tree for experienced guilds that were getting raids on farm status. And to be honest, people that get raids on farm status don't really need the money anyway. I'll tell you, I mean, that would be... no, that wouldn't have even been useful back when we were doing Cthulhu. It's like, hey, we can increase the duration of our guild cauldron for greater nature protection potion. Except that won't help because we're dying like in 2 minutes to Cthulhu anyway, so it disappears. Rank 10, Mobile Banking. Summons your guild bank instantly, 1 hour cooldown. That's fairly handy, I suppose. Mr. Popularity Rank 2 comes in at number 11, so that's 10% increase for reputation. Stack that with Diplomacy, and that is sickeningly good. Honorable Mention. Honor points increased by 5% at rank 12. Yeah. Working Overtime increases the chance to gain a skill increase on trade skills by 10%. That's really good. That's awesome. 14. The Quick and the Dead increases health and mana gained when resurrected by a guild member by 50%, increases movement speeds while dead by 100%. Wow! Really? That is the best thing ever. I might actually level an alt using that because I die so much. It's like, hey, I can run really fast now. And if they've still got that Molten Core Stalvin, which currently they do, by the way, I don't know if they've changed this in the latest beta patch, but running back to Blackrock Caverns, it's from the old Thorium Point place. You know, the 10-minute run right across the Searing Gorge all the way into Blackrock Mountain? Yeah, it's the same thing. So that would be god tier for that. Okay, what else have we got? Cash Flow Rank 2 is at number 15. Number 16, Guild Mail. In-game mail sent between guild members now arrives instantly. Oh, come on, that should be there anyway. Ugh. Honestly. 17, Everyone's a Hero. Heroism points increased by 5%. Yeah, nice. Honorable Mention at number 18, that's rank 2, 10% extra honor points. Happy Hour increases the number of flasks gained from using a flask cauldron by 100%. Yeah, that's good. I've never actually seen a flask cauldron be used. Maybe that's just a 25-man thing. What do they look like? Are they actually in the game yet? I've never seen one. Hang on, let me wowhead this. Come on, wowhead, you're not taking a pounding like my website is. You can survive. Cauldron, 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 cauldron. Do we have any cauldrons? Show me the cauldrons! No, really, show me the cauldrons right now. Yes, they do. Those are like level 70 things, aren't they? Those were back in the day. Interesting. Yeah, like Cauldron of Major Frost Protection Potion. Stuff like that. So, what you're telling me is there's going to be brand new cauldrons in the game, I would think. Cauldrons that are available for... In Cataclysm. They were in TBC. Now you can get flasks out of cauldrons. That is really good. Oh god, that's amazing! What am I talking about? It's a fantastic idea. Oh, thank god for that. It's like, I forgot me flasks, guys! Ah. Yeah, I remember that. Hopefully we won't have any more of that. Okay. Rank 20. Have group will travel. Summons all raid or party members to the caster's current location. That sounds like an amazing troll ability. So... I cast that, and I put them in the middle of Stormwind. There we go, no problem at all. Actually, that's sick, come to think of it. That's great for city raids. Think about that for a second. So you sneak a rogue into a city, all the way through to the leader of the city, then you summon an entire raid directly in there, straight away, instead of having to do warlocks and 2 guys. Think about how silly that is. Wow. Chug-a-Lug rank 2, 100% duration increase on cauldrons and feasts. So yeah, with the cauldrons thing, I suppose Chug-a-Lug is useful. The feasts, not so much. Unless they're going to make feasts endure through death as well. Bountiful Bags at rank 22 increases the quantity of materials gained from mining, skinning, herbalism, and disenchantment by 50... Holy crap! I deliberately did not read this before the show because I prefer to have more honest reactions to things. I don't like overly preparing content like this. I would like it that you get what is my opinion, you know, without prior preparation and bias. Everyone's Hero rank 2 at rank 24. That increases all heroism points gained by 10%. And 25, that's a big one. Mass Resurrection brings all dead party and raid members back to life with 35 health and 35 mana. Cannot be cast when in combat. 64% of base mana, unlimited range, 10-second cast, and there's no mention of a cooldown. Really? It's got unlimited range and there's no mention of a cooldown. That would be so freaking handy. Like, we die. Okay, you're all down in position. No problem, 10-second cast. Boom! Entire raid's back on their feet. That would save so much goddamn downtime. Wow. I'm looking forward to that. Should be a lot of fun. Okay. So, what's the whining about all of this then? Because that sounds great, right? Well, here's the thing about the WoW community. They will cry about anything. And I do mean anything. So we're going to talk exactly about their concerns. Yes, I say concerns. In the most condescending, the most loathful manner imaginable. So, this came in from, well, it was a blue thread. So, let me see if I can actually find it. Are we forced to join a guild in Cataclysm? I would like to start off a discussion about if we are forced to join a guild or not in upcoming Cata. I'm sure not everyone prefers to be in a guild for various reasons. Some being real-life issues or time constraints. Welcome to the perception of guilds that has been put in place by Cataclysm. Or more specifically, Wrath of the Lich King before Cataclysm. And this is what people think guilds are going to be like in Cataclysm. Oh god, all guilds are hardcore and they require to be on for 30 hours a week. And I must raid for 7 hours at a time. And if I don't, I'll get kicked out. And then they'll come to my house and they'll steal all my stuff. And they might throw my cat in a well. And they'll use Real ID to track me down. That's not what guilds are. Guilds can be anything. All a guild is a collection of people. It's like saying every club is exactly the same. And I'm fairly sure that, say, the Newcastle Rock Society is a little bit different to the West Virginia Old Women's Bridge Club. It's not the same thing. It's just a group of people. That's what you call a social group, as in people that want to do things together because it's more entertaining. Why would you want to not be in a guild? I mean, really, I can't think of a single valid reason. Some people are like, oh, well, I want to be alone. I want to be a lone wolf. Nah, oh, screw you, lone wolf. Nobody cares about you. You know, you think that you're so special that you can do everything but yourself? You can't. The game's not designed for that. You're forced into substandard grouping scenarios because you made a dumb decision. I decided to be alone. I was like, yeah. If you are thrown out of a guild or you leave a guild for whatever reason, you may be guildless for a while, but it's the people that decide deliberately not to be in a guild of any description that really weird me out, because there are people in every kind of guild. If you only play for 5 minutes a week, there are thousands of guilds who are set up just for you. There are so many different ways a guild can be organized. I mean, seriously. This is absolutely the case. And you can make your own guild. I mean, all you need is 9 other people. It's not that hard. If you present your group as something that is fun to join and fun to play in, then people will come and they will play. I know guilds, and I forgot to say, I advertised for a guild a while ago called the Daywalkers. Those guys were a serious raiding guild that raided in the afternoons because all of their members either worked night shifts or really early morning. Or maybe they were part-timers. You know, that's a very niche market right there, and their guild is massive. I mean, come off it. Don't tell me that you can't get into a guild. It seems to me if you can't get yourself into a guild, then it's something, you have a problem, and you really do. I can't get into a guild, no guild will accept me. Maybe that's because you're an insufferable douchebag, yeah? Or perhaps it's because you haven't got any likable or useful attributes. Like, where's your application? I mean, the kind of people that I reject for my guild are the people that think 3 lines equals an application form. They'll say, oh, well, people outside of guilds will be disadvantaged. No, they won't. They'll be exactly the same as they are right now. That's not a disadvantage. That's giving people who are in a guild a leg up that they have so, I might add, deserved for a very, very long time. True story. I don't know what all this crying and complaining and whining is, but Blizzard doesn't seem to be a particular fan of it either, because their statement is this: it won't be forced or required in my opinion. Larger guilds right now already enjoy a variety of advantages in getting groups together and such, so while the new system may encourage players to take part in guilds, it can be avoided if wanted. Well, there you go. If you want to avoid playing the optimal spec, you can do that. If you want to avoid playing inside the optimum setup, you can do that. If you want to avoid socializing with anyone, you can do that. But don't expect to be catered to. You got catered to far too much in Wrath, and look what it did to the game. This is a massively multiplayer, online, role-playing game. You want to play single player, go get Baldur's Gate, or Planescape Torment, or Deus Ex. And you know what? I wouldn't expect you to do that, because anyone like that doesn't have that kind of taste. If you had standards, you'd be in a guild already, or at least thinking about either joining one or creating one for yourself. My name's Total Biscuit, and you're listening to Blue Please here on CynicalBrit.com. If you're upset by the content of this show, please go listen to something a little bit fluffier. I really don't care. I think we should play some metal. Sounds like a very good idea to me. That's exactly what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to play some Dark Tranquility. Why would I play something like that? Because it's awesome! And you know it. Hours passed in exile, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be right back after this to do a little bit of Cataclysm Q&A. Enjoy.